What's up guys, C-Twan13 here, and in today's video we're going to be installing the FitcamX OEM look clean install 4K HD dash cam on this BMW i7. Alright guys, so what we got here is the FitcamX dash cam for the BMW 7 Series. In this case, it's going to be going in a BMW i7. Now, if you've seen my previous video on a FitcamX dash cam, you can click the card above to check it out. If you haven't, it was on my 22 F-150 Lightning, and I was very, very happy with that particular dash cam. Now, that dash cam I purchased with my own money, but after FitcamX saw my video, they had asked me, well, would you like to review another one of our products? Now, I had said I'm okay with that as long as I can give you guys an honest review, and they said that was fine. Only one problem. I didn't have another vehicle to install a dash cam on. Both my vehicle and any of my family's vehicles, they all already had a dash cam, so that wasn't really in the cards. But recently, one of my family members did pick up a new BMW i7, and so this dash cam is going to be installed in that car. Now, that being said, I did get you guys a special offer. So if you click the affiliate link in the description below, you can check out the dash cam or any of the dash cams on their website. And if you use my code C-Twan13, I'll also have that in the description below. You will get 8% off your order. So like I said, if you're interested, check out the link in the description below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this unboxing. Now, as always, FitcamX has great packaging. They're always very well packaged. I'm never really concerned that they're going to get damaged in transit. As you can see, very nice box, but I just got a cut right up here. Okay. You can see the details there. There's your model number. And this is the 4K model. All right, you have an included micro SD card. Now, one thing I will note, although I haven't had any issues, I have seen reports of some people saying that the included micro SD cards sometimes after a few months will have issues where they'll stop recording or something will go wrong. So if you're concerned about that at all, you know, micro SD cards are really cheap. So you can just pick up a Samsung or something like that, or SanDisk, and I'm sure you'll have no problems. But nonetheless, it's still great that they actually include one, because there are plenty of dash cam manufacturers and sellers out there that don't include any sort of memory card. So let's take a look at the cameras first, and then we'll pull out the accessories, and then I'll put the user manual to the side for now. So the nice thing about your FitcamX dash cams is, of course, the OEM look and integration. They look almost completely stock, and they usually integrate in or around the base of where the rear view mirror mounts to the windshield, and as a result they look incredibly clean, and the installs look incredibly clean. So let's see what we got here. Now, I didn't see a specific option for the i7 on their website, so they did ask me to send some pictures and some details of the vehicle before I was able to get an order in and have them send me a dash cam. All right, so here is the camera, and I think this is just going to be the other side of the bracket. All right, well, there you go. There's the dash cam. And you can see it's designed to look OEM because it's designed to go around the mirror and then clip up perfectly so that it's completely hidden. So let's take a look at our accessories. What should be in here is your T-harness. So there's your T-tap harness, taps into the mirror power supply. And here's a little micro SD card reader. And of course, our plastic trim tool. And that's pretty much it, guys. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll get you inside the vehicle and we'll take a look at the install process. Again, it shouldn't be super complicated. Most of these installs are pretty simple to do. And that's another thing I really love about them is not only are they clean, they're easy, right? There's no need to find a constant 12-volt source or a switched 12-volt source, depending on what you're trying to do, and then run that, snake that wire all over the place. Again, this is just going to be the front camera install, so that's it. There's nothing to run. So let's go ahead and jump in the car and see how the install works. All right, guys. So we're in the i7 now, and what I'm going to do is I first got to pull this whole shroud off, the surround for the mirror, and then once I have that removed, it should be a piece of cake. Just reverse the process with the included surround pieces. So let me go ahead and remove that. I'll get right back with you. All right, guys, so I've got the whole surround for the mirror removed. It's basically one piece on top and then two on the bottom that clamshell together. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is to take the included trim pieces and the camera mounted within them and then sandwich them in place here. In addition, I'm going to make sure that I have the wiring harness connected because obviously I have to tap into the auto dimming mirror power harness here, so we'll do that. So let me go ahead and get everything situated and then I'll show you after that process is done. It's basically the same and the reverse of the installation. And because I think it's going to be more easily depicted in their video than I could possibly do in this one, I will leave a link in the description for FitcamX's installation video for the 7 Series. It's not exactly the same as this vehicle, but the process is basically the same. So let me go ahead and get on that and I'll bring you back in after. All right, guys, so now that I got this thing all wired up and the FitcamX custom shroud installed around it, all we got left is to install this trim piece right here, and then we got to test the camera out. So let me get this trim installed. All right, the trim's now in position. Readjust the mirror. And now I'm going to take you guys to the other side in the passenger seat. Hopefully I can get the angle just right. And we'll get that micro SD card installed and then we'll walk through the basics of the app. It's a lot like the video I've done before on my Lightning. I'll leave the card above for that, but obviously I want to go over that again in this video just to give you a brief overview of how it all works. But just to show you guys just how clean of an install this is, you can see this looks completely factory. If it wasn't for the fact that there is a micro SD card slot here and a couple holes here for LEDs and 2 buttons, you literally would not be able to tell that this is a dash cam. And of course you can see the lens right there. So anyway, let me go ahead and get that micro SD card installed on the other side. And then let's go ahead and walk through pairing the camera with your app and how the app works. All right, guys, so I got the micro SD card installed and I'm now installing the FitcamX app on my phone. Now, obviously I'm going handheld cam here, so I apologize if it's a little shaky. The interior of the BMW is just too tight. There is really no way for me to get a tripod mounted, and I don't have a super mini tripod, so unfortunately you're gonna have to deal with a little bit of shaky cam here, but hopefully this gives you guys a better up close view. So when this app is done installing, I'll bring you guys back in and I'll show you guys the pairing process and how you configure the camera and all that. All right, guys, so I got the app installed. So now let's go ahead and get that camera paired up. So I'll walk you through the process here. And again, I apologize, the infrared cameras in these modern cars, they're always watching you. This is one of the reasons why I don't remember which video it was I talked about it in. I think it might have been my last video on the Lightning, but I don't use Blue Cruise, the automated driving system, so I have no need for those cameras to be flashing me with infrared light 24/7, so I cover them up. But on the BMW, because they're integrated in to the actual instrument cluster here, it would look a little worse if you covered them up, even if it was a very low profile tape. So anyway, you're just gonna have to deal with that flashing. But anyway, let's go ahead and launch the app. You gotta agree to their privacy policy. And obviously it needs to be able to store, read, and write data and photos, because in case you ever download video from the micro SD card, you're gonna need to have access there. And also you're gonna need to give them location information and Wi-Fi access. So there you go. And let's go ahead and connect to FitCam, and it should be able to find this camera. And I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna have to blur out all the other options for privacy reasons, but you can see right there, that is in fact the camera. So, and I don't know if I remember what the password was. I think it was just, was it just password? Let's try that. I genuinely don't remember. Ah, it didn't work. Okay. Let's try that again. All right. Okay, it worked. So I was wrong. The password is just 1234567 So that's the default password. So now we go back into the app. There you go. And the camera is connected. And there we have it. We're getting our front view. Obviously this is just the front camera, not like on the Lightning. I had the front and rear, but you can see we've got full access on the app. In addition, you can change your different settings, and it already has the correct date and time because of course it's synced with the app. If we go into our camera settings here, you're not gonna be able to get parking mode because obviously the power to that will cut off when you shut the car off. So under collision sensing, you can change the sensitivity of your G sensor. The exposure compensation is something you'd use if you're noticing your camera routinely getting washed out. The timestamp is just a setting to whether or not you want the time and date on the video. I strongly recommend you leave that on if you ever do need the footage. If you don't have a timestamp on it, it's gonna be really hard to claim to insurance that that's from the day of the accident. Now, you know, it could be very obvious, but like I said, insurance companies are slimy and they might try and weasel their way out of something if you say, well, this person hit me and the video doesn't show the date and time. You can change your resolution for photos and videos. You can change the loop recording length. Default is 1 minute. I actually have it set for 3 minutes on my dash cam. So for this one, we'll just set it to 3. My family member decides that they don't want that, they can change it back. Sound recording, I generally like to have that on as well. But if you know you're concerned about privacy and all that, you can turn it off. That basically just means the camera will record what's going on, both inside and if sound makes it into the cabin from outside as well. And parking monitor, obviously that's not going to work because again, that requires a hardwired constant 12 volt power supply. So if you're not wired up to a constant 12 volt source, that's not going to work. And then of course, you can change the Wi-Fi password. It tells you the firmware version and the option to format the SD card if you have issues. In the past, once or twice, it's not a common occurrence, but I've had issues where my FitcamX would stop functioning or recording for whatever reason. If that ever happens, just reformat your SD card. And that's pretty much it. So since it's been recording, right, we'll go into our camera file option, and that will show you all your looped recordings. And so these are all the recordings that the camera has been making since I activated the camera. So you can see you have all your loops here. If you were to push the snapshot button, your snapshots will be located here. If a file was locked because the G sensor was activated, it would be saved here. And once it's in this folder, it cannot be overwritten. And this is just for your parking mode recordings. Obviously, again, if you're doing an install like this, unless this is a constant source to that mirror, parking mode is not going to work. But like I said, still really cool. You can get all these options here. But anyway, that is it. So
Very simple, very easy to use. I very much like the FitCam app. It's very well full featured and yet relatively easy to use. It's not super complicated with a million different options that confuse the hell out of you. So yeah, but there it is. But anyway, guys, that's been my full install and overview of the FitcamX integrated front dash cam for the BMW i7. Like always, if you want to check it out, I'll leave the link in the description below. If you use my link and go to their site and use my discount code, you'll get a discount on any FitcamX product you purchase. And you'll also be supporting the channel. So I really appreciate it. So if you liked the video, be sure to give me a like. If you have any questions, comments, or your own experiences with the FitcamX dash cam for any vehicle or the BMW i7, I, along with everyone else I'm sure, would love to hear your experience. So feel free to leave that in the comments below. And as always, if you want to see more, don't forget to get subscribed.